defer. So Sam Babish, one of the top kickers in the Big South OVC, squibs it to keep it away from Clemson's dangerous returners, and the Tigers will start beyond their own 30-yard line. So here comes the Clemson offense, which, again, the numbers just a little misleading. They only scored 7 points Monday at Duke. But Cade Klubnik and this group under Garrett Riley in his first season as offensive coordinator, they did a lot of good stuff that they're excited about heading for the rest of the season.
Yeah, listen, I know the Clemson faithful are a little bit upset with the way the offense didn't put points on the board, but Klubnik did a lot of really good things. There were a couple poor throws, but remember, this was only his third career start, and now his first start, by the way, ever in Death Valley.
And the sophomore out of Austin, Texas, starts with a handoff to his running mate, Will Shipley, one of the top running backs in the country. Sifts forward for about 4 yards as Cooper Dawson makes the tackle, the Syracuse transfer and lifelong Clemson fan from South Carolina.
3 yards, 2nd and 7.
It's a hot Saturday afternoon here in Death Valley, mid-80s, as Shipley makes the catch out of the backfield. He is so dangerous in that part of the game as he picks up a first down. He had 6 catches, which tied a career high Monday against Duke.
I'll hit a little bit of tempo here as the air raid, which has now been dubbed the dirt raid offense, because they do want to run the rock a little bit. I think the offensive linemen sort of coined that throughout the years with Coach Riley.
Shipley, the motion man for Clemson, on first down. Klubnik looks to throw, floats it up the sideline, incomplete. He was trying to find Adam Randall. Jamel Johnson, the top cover corner for Charleston Southern, was there hounding him.
There were not a lot of players coming back on this Charleston Southern defense, and he's one of the few starters that does return. That's pretty good coverage going up at the highest point against a very talented Adam Randall, who they talked about this week. They really want to get him more involved in this offense.
On second down, it's Shipley right up the middle again. And some tough running from Will Shipley, the junior out of the Charlotte area, to set up third down and manageable. By the way, worth pointing out, Cole Turner is typically a deep threat for this Clemson team, the wide receiver. He's out today, as is Andrew Makuba on the other side of the ball. Both those guys being held out, precautionary reasons, nothing major according to what we've been told. An early game third down test for Klubnik, and his throw was complete for a moment and then dropped. Leon Thomas was in coverage to bust it up. He was trying to find Beaux Collins. Now it's fourth down, and Clemson might go here.
I think they have to consider going for this. Great coverage. Ball is caught. That would have been a first down. Leon Thomas, the young freshman corner out of Georgia, comes up and makes a terrific play.
Offense stays out here on fourth down and 4. Shipley joins Klubnik in the backfield. Looks to throw on the first fourth down of the game and completes. There's his top target, Antonio Williams. Led the team in targets, catches, and yards Monday against Duke. Goes for 14 and a first down.
Yeah, really nice job by Klubnik staying in the pocket. Kind of a quick slant to Williams over the middle. Easy pitch and catch, first down.
Tigers driving inside the 40 of the Bucs. 2 running backs, Shipley and Mafa. Klubnik looks to throw, completes it short, checks it down to Collins. That time sure-handed, sets up second down and 2.
Well, these are some of the routes that they had run last week against Duke. But Duke did a really good job playing everything from top down. What I mean by that is their safeties were basically too high. They played a lot of quarters, a lot of cover 2, and they just made Clemson take everything underneath. Kind of the same start to this game, but a little bit different opponent.
Klubnik swings it out. There goes Will Shipley. Out of the backfield, takes it inside the red zone and sets Clemson up with first down near the 12-yard line.
You know, that's
great
one of the
block
great
by
things
Antonio Williams.
about Will Shipley in this offense. His ability to catch the football out of the backfield is such an added extra element to this offense. And with Garrett Riley coming in, it just gives him so many more weapons on this offense.
Gain of 16 sets up the 9th play of the drive, and before the snap, a flag comes out.
Ball start. Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Jeff Flanagan leads our crew today. Here's head coach Beaux Collins, coaching his 100th game as the head man here in Death Valley. Led the team on Tiger Walk today because it's Dabo's 100th home game. It's also the 100th Tiger Walk, and it's a new look Tiger Walk, which we'll talk about later in the show. Jake Brenningstool, the big tight end from Nashville, makes the catch around the right side after the stiff arm goes down at the 10-yard line. Trayson Fowler brought down the 6'6" weapon.
There's so many weapons on the outside for this team. I just think there's a lot of inexperience from the wide receiver position, the tight end position. Brenningstool needs to get involved in this offense. You mentioned that size, Drew, 6'6", 230, and he can run.
Second and 8.
On the 10th play of the drive, Klubnik keeps it, throws, end zone, touchdown! Antonio Williams puts the Tigers on the board in Death Valley.
Klubnik just going to take a look off to his left-hand side. Right in there, wide open, beats the defender to the inside. He's working up against Trayson Fowler, the strong safety. Well-thrown football, and a great start for the Tigers.
And this extra point might be a little more significant than your typical extra point. Robert Gunn III had a rough go in his first game at Duke Monday, and Beaux said what we need him to do is kick some extra points. Get him settled in. He had those 2 blocked field goals last week, and he knocks the first one through, 7-zip Clemson.
Well, for a game on Monday that left a sour taste, what a great opening drive. Going to find Williams just come inside on that skinny post. Klubnik, great vision, beautiful throw, 7-0 from Death Valley.
2023 home opener. They go 10 plays, 68 yards in just under 4 minutes. Cade Klubnik completes passes to 4 different wide receivers, including Antonio Williams on a 10-yard catch, and the Tigers lead the Bucs of Charleston Southern 7-0. As we go back down to the field, and Alex Chappell.
And Drew, after that stellar opening drive, Beaux Collins ran right over to his quarterback. He found Klubnik, gave him a huge high five. The two were fired up and firing up all the players on the sideline.
It's great stuff, Alex. Beaux is such a positive guy, right? When we met with him yesterday, you would know that they lost.
I was a little bit nervous going to the meeting, to be honest with you, because you never know how a coach is going to respond to such a tough loss, right? And he was so optimistic about the team and the positives that he took out of the game.
Now we get their first look at the defense against the CSU offense led by Tony Bartallo. And the quarterback keeps it on the first play from scrimmage for the Bucs and throws incomplete down the sideline, looking for the Virginia Tech transfer, Will Kakavitsis. Sheridan Jones in coverage for the Tigers.
It is interesting that Bartallo is going to get the start today. Had a really intense competition in camp with Caleb Jackson. And Jackson started the game last week. Jackson transfer in from Albany State. Just couldn't really get the offense going in that first half last week against Greenville, North Greenville.
Didn't go so well.
No.
4 drives in the first quarter, 4 3-and-outs. Bartallo took over and led them to a 13-10 victory. He pitches it to TJ Ruff, and their first running play is going nowhere. Barrett Carter makes the stop for a gain that matches his jersey number, 0. Yeah,
Barrett Carter is one player that probably looked back at last week's game and really just didn't feel he played all that well, to be honest with you. And we kind of talked about it this week. He's going to be more physically and mentally ready to play in this ballgame. And I just think, you know, week 1 jitters and week 1 conditioning and all those things kind of factored in. And he owned up to it. And that's a nice start for Barrett Carter with that big tackle.
Snap it with 5 on the timer. Bartallo looked like a little miscommunication, and he gets dumped. Justin Maskell, playing in his 55th career game for Clemson, stops him at the line, and it's 3 plays, no yards for Charleston Southern.
A beautiful stop for the defense to get a quick 3-and-out.
Brian Cooey Jr., the redshirt junior from New Jersey. We'll kick it away to Antonio Williams, who's got the touchdown today for the Tigers. A spinning punt. Bounces inside the 30, and Williams lets it go, and the Bucs will down it near the 20-yard line. Midway through this first quarter, great start for Clemson, bouncing back from the loss at Duke on Monday. Brewing Company drive recap.
Well, an impressive drive here for Cade Klubnik. 6 of 8, 64 yards, goes right down the field. And by the way, spread the football around. 4 different targets. Receivers, rather, caught passes on that drive, and of course they finish up with the beautiful throw at the end of this drive to Antonio Williams down inside the red zone. Caps off the drive, 7-0, and now they got the football back here looking to add more.
Interesting, Fox, you mentioned the 8 throws for Klubnik on the first drive. 8 passes, just 2 runs for the Tigers on their opening drive.
Maybe a little bit more emphasis on trying to spread the football around today.
And right on cue, Klubnik will throw. Lots of time. Now he escapes, throws, and just gets it away along that Clemson sideline. Beaux Collins, the nearest receiver in the area.
You know, it was interesting when we talked with Dabo yesterday, Drew. He mentioned kind of the awareness of Klubnik. He kind of needs to slow things down a little bit. There's no preseason football, right, in college football. So when you come into a week 1 game, it is totally different. A different speed, getting tackled. He's got to bring that awareness down just a little bit. He says like at 100, he wants to be like at 85.
Don't try to DeChambeau it every time.
Right.
Sometimes you can take a 7-iron.
Like I do, and get made fun of.
No shame in that. No pictures on the scorecard. Third down and short coming for the Tigers here after Phil Mafa's 8-yard carry. Clemson converted on 4th down on their opening drive. 0 for 1 on 3rd. Klubnik throws on the run, completes to Mafa, his running back. There's a flag down in the backfield as Mafa is brought down right near the line to gain.
Holding, offense number 78. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's the sophomore right tackle Blake Miller,
who had a rough day on Monday night with some of the pass rushers from the Blue Devils. Take a look at Miller. They think he's going to be a really good player, just a sophomore out of Strongsville, Ohio.
So Charleston Southern declines the penalty. Clemson was just short of the 1st down on Mafa's catch. Looks like it's about 4th down and 1. They need the 31. Again, they went for it on 4th down on the opening drive, and I think they're going again.
I mean, why not? I mean, Dan Campbell faked the punt at his own 20.
And Clemson's at their own 29 right now. They need the 30 to pick up the 1st down. Mafa, the running back behind Klubnik. Play clock winds down to 5. Oh, trouble with the snap, and it's picked up by the Bucs. Charleston Southern with Trayson Fowler takes it inside the 5, and Cade Klubnik, the quarterback, made a touchdown-saving tackle. Again, with the miscues for the Tigers.
Yeah, that just cannot happen, Drew. Especially with all the ball security issues you had a week ago against Duke. You'll see it comes off the edge a little bit there, kind of blows it up in the backfield, and then right there to pick up the football is Trayson Fowler, nearly takes it to the end zone.
So Charleston Southern starts with 1st down at the 1. I mean, credit Cade Klubnik for making the tackle to save the points. He did the same thing on an interception Monday at Duke.
Well, now this is where you give it to Moore.
That's what they do, and J.D. Moore walks in. Touchdown, Bucs.
Number 10, J.D. Moore with the touchdown.
So it's deja vu all over again for Clemson. An offensive miscue puts their defense in a tough spot, and Charleston Southern takes advantage.
I can't imagine what Dabo's thinking on the sidelines right now. You take a look at this. It's just a speed option, and J.D. Moore is just going to walk into the end zone.
It's a Charleston Southern team that scored 1 touchdown all of last week against D2 North Greenville. And they've got 6 midway through the first quarter as Babish adds the extra point. We are tied 7 minutes in.
That's a little bit surprising. Defense of the Buccaneers come up with the turnover. And maybe a little
score on your screen is not a typo. Charleston Southern just tied this game up. J.D. Moore with a 1-yard plunge. A 1-play, 1-yard, 3-second drive after the Bucs recovered a fumble on a Clemson 4th down and brought it down to the 1-yard line. Sam Babish with the onside kick for CSU, and they've got it. The Bucs throwing the kitchen sink at the Tigers. Trayson Fowler, who had the fumble recovery, recovers the onside kick as well, and the Boo Birds are out here in Death Valley.
Well, I'll tell you what. Coach Gardenia is pulling out all of the mustard seeds for this one, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But boy, trying to surprise them. I love the call. I mean, they've got nothing to lose. That's a tremendous call, and really the front line of that kickoff return unit, they were all running back. They did not anticipate that at all.
Gabe Gardenia, very religious man, builds this program around faith, not unlike the guy on the other sideline here at Clemson. He's been carrying around mustard seeds all week. If you've read the gospel, you probably know why. Tony Bartello keeps it and throws it and completes it to his tight end Landon Sowers for a gain of about 4 on 1st down. Now, if you look in Matthew 17:20, it says, if you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, you will say to the mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. So if you're Charleston Southern, you're about 50-point underdogs this week.
Yes.
Clemson is your mountain today.
Yeah, they need a lot of mustard seeds to try and win this one. And hey, good start. Defense comes up with a turnover. You get points on the board, and then you all of a sudden come back with the onside kick, which was a surprise, obviously, but it panned out.
Bartello keeps it again, pitches to J.D. Moore, did a nice job to handle it, but a nice form tackle around midfield by Jalen Phillips, one of the captains today. Let's go back to that onside kick.
See, all these guys are starting to run back, right? And then it's got to go 10 yards. It goes just past 10 yards, and Gabe Gardenia is pumped. He's like, we got it.
He's throwing mustard seeds all over the place. His Bucs offense faces 3rd down and 4.
I wouldn't be surprised if they went for it on 4th down.
Bartello drops back. Clemson rushes 4 and flushes him to his left. Bartello throws incomplete. It looked like he had an open receiver along the sideline. Tanner Bentley couldn't squeeze it for CSU. Now 4th down and 4, decision time.
I would go for this. I mean, how many opportunities are you going to have where you have the football at midfield? You know Clemson's probably going to continue to move up and down the field offensively. I don't anticipate them making all of those miscues like they did a week ago. No, they're going to punt.
You've already tried an onside kick.
Oh, well, listen, Clemson's in a punt-safe defensive look, so they're prepared for everything right here.
They send out Brian Cooey Jr., who kicked it 54 yards on his first punt today. And this one bounces in the corner, saved by J.D. Moore, the running back.
Just inside the one.
Oh, my goodness. At the half-yard line.
Wow.
What a play from their RB1 on special teams. A 48-yard boot that pins Clemson deep.
This was a phenomenal kick. The coffin corner kick, as they call it. And Moore has great awareness. Throws it right out of bounds before he crosses the goal line. Would have been a touchback. So Moore, 2 big plays early.
But don't forget, coming up next, number 17, North Carolina, fresh off the win over South Carolina. Clemson fans love to be reminded of that. Hosting Appalachian State and Chapel Hill. When they played last year, that game was drunk. Continues through number 4, Florida State, hosting Southern Miss at 8:30 Eastern. Every game also available on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. Clemson starts in the shadow of their own goalposts, and Klubnik throws. Beaux Collins has it. Stiff arm down the sideline. There goes Beaux! Collins Collins is gone. 99 yards to the house.
They're whistling him out of bounds at the 19. Wow.
Hey, you can barely hear Jeff Flanagan, the referee.
Out of bounds.
They're going to rule it an 18-yard first down catch as opposed to a 99-yard touchdown.
Boy, I sure would like to see the replay of his toes on that sideline, because it looked like he did a little dancing move right up the sideline. Does he step out? Where does he step out? Yes, he does. Right at about the 18, 17-yard line. And if it isn't for Sammy's sideline, that is a 99-yard reception for a touchdown.
Timeout called by Charleston Southern.
Timeout. Charleston Southern. First charge. Timeout. Timeout will be 30 seconds.
Now, here's the thing, Foxy. Even though that doesn't count, got to be a good sign for Clemson, because so much of the scuttlebutt, so much of the talk about this team has been, where are the game breakers? Where are the playmakers? I know it's Charleston Southern, but maybe Beaux Collins could step into that role.
Well, he certainly can. I mean, he's one of those guys that is a really savvy player, plays on the outside. You saw the speed there from a big kid who's 6'3", 210 pounds, right? I mean, they've got to find somebody on the outside to step up and become that number one wide receiver. And I also think maybe the expectations were a little unrealistic to start the year. You know, Garrett Riley was one of the most sought-after coordinators at last season after leading TCU to a national championship appearance and an offense that was just explosive, dynamic. And so people thought they would just come in here and like clockwork would just take over. It just hasn't happened yet. It's still so early. It's going to take a little bit of time.
Still breaking in that dirt raid offense. Shipley, the running back, gets the call on first down, and Shipley puts his foot in the ground and moves the sticks. Gain of 13 for Will Shipley. He is so fun to watch, so versatile. Clemson moving quickly. Klubnik completes toward the boundary. Troy Stellato, a guy we might see a lot of today. Again, no Cole Turner for the Tigers at wide receiver.
It seems to be a concerted effort to get the ball in the perimeter and try to test out the secondary and the speed of the Buccaneers defense. And you saw it on that touchdown that was called back. But they've done it multiple times, whether it be Shipley or, again, trying to get to Stellato on the outside again.
Back-to-back throws to Stellato. Klubnik did well after the play action to avoid the pressure and pick up the first down as Sheree Jefferson makes the tackle. You're right, it's a young wide receiver room, pretty unproven. I mean, Antonio Williams, who caught the touchdown earlier, last year as a true freshman, led this team in catches and yards. Looking for someone to step up in addition to Williams. Klubnik will throw again. The Tigers pass happy early. There's Beaux Collins again up that right sideline. And again, he's got first down yardage as they move it into Bucs territory.
I like the awareness on this play by Klubnik, because he notices that the corner Jamel Johnson's playing off about 7, 8, 9 yards, and they only got it to pick up, about 6 or 7. And so he just goes through the sticks, settles down, and Johnson is, 5 yards of separation. Great decision to pick up that first down.
Yeah, Klubnik already over 100 yards today. 11 of 14 through the air. Throws again, completes again. It's Collins again, and he's near the first down marker one more time. Inside the Charleston Southern 40, Julius Walton makes the tackle for the Bucs. First down Tigers. 6 straight completions make it 7 in a row. Randall hauls it in on the screen, and a short gain on first down.
I think they're just trying to wear out Charleston Southern a little bit here. All these missile screens, it's to the left side, to the right side. They're trying to hit Shipley out in the flat. Like, it's a very, very hot day, to say the least, by the way. We are sweating in the booth. I can't imagine how hot it is on the field. And some of those players from Charleston Southern, that's the issue. When you play an FCS school, you don't have all the depth. Like, Clemson can just rotate guys in and out. The Buccaneers cannot.
Klubnik keeps it after the read option and goes down to the backfield. So 3rd down and long coming up for the Tigers. Bryce Llewellyn was the first guy in there for Charleston Southern along with Josh Hill. And Llewellyn, 43. He's the guy Garrett Riley was most worried about from the CSU defense.
Yeah, he plays that spur position for the Buccaneers and is probably one of the more vital pieces to that defense. But again, they've got Clemson backed up in 3rd and 12.
Under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Clemson 0 for 2 on 3rd down. They've gone for it on 4th down twice. Klubnik with time. Looking. Floats it. Intercepted. Picked off and coming the other way. Leon Thomas down the sideline. He could go. Pick 6. Bucs. And Death Valley is in shock. The freshman goes the distance. Charleston Southern has the lead. A 67-yard interception return for a touchdown. Gabe Gardenia's team has walked into Memorial Stadium and shocked the nearly sellout crowd. Sam Babish adds the extra point. 14-7 Charleston Southern.
Yeah, 90-92.
LaRon Davis bringing the heat.
Yeah.
Josh Hill as well.
LaRon Davis does a great job. He beats a double team on the inside. And really, Klubnik, at that point in time, you almost just have to eat the sack. You know, you're throwing it up to God knows who, and it turns out being a pick 6. You got to have a smarter clock in your head, or at least just eat the sack. It's 3rd and 12 anyway. I know you're trying to make a play, but goodness, you got to be careful.
Again, what did Dabo Sweeney tell us? Hey, Cade Klubnik, it doesn't have to be 100 every time. Sometimes bring it down to 85. You can hit singles.
Yeah, you don't have to hit for the cycle. Not every time.
Look what Gabe Gardenia has.
Oh, there's the mustard seeds.
The mustard seeds. He said we need to have the faith of a mustard seed. Clemson is their mountain today. And again, Clemson just sloppy on the kick return. But it is picked up by Shipley, and he brings it past the 40-yard line. All right, so, Foxy, if you're on the sideline right now and you're a leader of this Clemson team, what are you telling your teammates?
Calm down. Like, just take it easy. I think that maybe they're in their heads a little bit after all of those turnovers and the miscues on Monday night, where you come into a game like this. I don't know. And again, this game's far from over, right? We're in the first quarter, right? So
tell some of the fans that.
Oh, the fans are not happy, and this is the opener. I mean, you're supposed to beat this team handily, right? Won 19 straight home openers.
They've never lost to an FCS or 1AA team.
And the Buccaneers have never beaten an FBS team.
We could throw stuff like that at you all day. Right now, Charleston Southern is winning 14-7. Mafa out of the backfield, puts the shoulder down, and the big 6'1", 230-pound running back out of bounds near midfield. And such a bizarre game Monday for Dabo Sweeney's team. Again, no points or punts in the second half. We had Stats and Info run the numbers on that. Last year, 836 games involving an FBS team. Just 4 times that happened in a half. Shipley will move the chains, bringing it down to the 40-yard line. A gain of 16. Jordan Livingston makes the tackle.
Yeah, I mean, Dabo said after the game, if you told me that I would throw for over 200 yards and run for over 200 yards, and you basically have the opponent with 13 points midway through the fourth quarter, That's a win every single time. He's like, I'll take that every week.
Klubnik throws, completes. Williams trying to get the sophomore in space. And a solid gain on first down. Again, Livingston pushes him out of bounds. But the problem is, right, 2 fumbles, interception, 2 blocked field goals from your freshman kicker.
Yep.
That's how you end up losing a game by 3 touchdowns when you almost double up your opponent in first downs.
It defies the metrics there, Drew.
Look at the play disparity, too. Clemson controlling possession. Klubnik completes. Collins again on the out route to the sideline. First down Tigers. Jamel Johnson on the stop for CSU.
And the Buccaneers don't even have a first down.
11 for Clemson.
Yeah.
They spread him out and hand it back to Mafa. Mafa finds a sliver up the middle, and it's dragged down at the 5. Chandler Evan Perry with a touchdown saving tackle. Under a minute left in the first after a gain of 18. Here's where it's moment of truth time for Clemson. They scored on their first red zone possession.
Play clock at 40 seconds. Clock will start on my signal.
The helmet came off, so CSU getting a chance to sub.
I'd be taking a look up here at Adam Randall. Got single coverage, but he's got a little help over top.
Hand it off instead. Driving the legs, Mafa. Will come up just short, marked down inside the 1. And unless they want to hurry up, it could be the last play of the first quarter.
Be 30 seconds.
Clemson looking to talk things over here with 17 seconds left in the first quarter. And this is such a big part of what they are hoping to address from that loss on Monday, Dustin, when they had multiple turnovers inside the opponent's 10-yard line for the first time under Dabo Swinney.
I'm guessing that there's a lot of coaches out there, Drew, that have never experienced anything like that, where you get inside, not just inside the 10, but like you're on the 1-yard line.
Some of these fans got a little more than they bargained for today, Dustin.
Yeah, I don't think many people expected to be losing to Charleston Southern after the first quarter. But they may not be. All right, probably one more snap.
Klubnik hands to Mafa, who dances in for the Clemson touchdown. Everybody take a deep breath. Clemson an extra point away from tying this game.
You see Mafa just takes it right up the middle, gets a really good kick out block from the tight end. Sage Enos, number 11, comes across and kicks out the defensive end, opens up a wide open hole.
Great 1B to Shipley's 1A in this Tigers backfield. A good sign for Clemson, 2 for 2 in the red zone. Only problem in the first quarter is the mistakes haven't come on the opposing doorstep. They've actually come on their own doorstep.
2 turnovers that the Buccaneers have capitalized off of. 14 points off of those 2 turnovers. I mean, Clemson had the football for 11.5 minutes in this first quarter.
Total yards 198-7. Score 14-14. Gunn boots it. Kid's got a big leg as that sails past the end zone. Levon Holland lets it bounce. We'll see if Charleston Southern can sustain a drive. I mean, that's the one thing they have not done in this first quarter. Coming back out with their Gold Rush offense. Today we've got Dirt Raid versus Gold Rush. led by Tony Bartallo. The Gold Rush name is one that dates back to when Jamie Chadwell was the head coach here at Charleston Southern. He's brought that with him to future stops, Coastal Carolina and Liberty. The idea being you want to keep striking the stone until some gold falls out.
Well, they've got a couple of gold nuggets early in this game. A couple gifts.
Some big ones. J.D. Moore brought down for a loss of 1.
Yeah,
Peter Woods was in there first.
There's just no chance to run on these defensive tackles between Rowe and Tyler Davis. These guys are just absolute monsters inside on this.
Picked to finish 8th in the Big South OVC football conference. 2-8 last year. Tied with Clemson 14-14 after 15 minutes. Drew Carter, Dustin Fox, Alex Chappell back with you here at Memorial Stadium. Bucs with the ball, 2nd down and 11. Tony Bartallo, the quarterback, at the controls. Bartallo keeps and pitches on that Gold Rush triple option type, and J.D. Moore swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Between quarters, Alex Chappell had a chance to catch up with Gabe Gardenia.
Coach Gardenia, what a start here on the road. How would you describe the play of your defense early?
Well, I think we're just running to the ball. We're playing, kind of Charleston Southern defense, trying to stay opportunistic, stay aggressive. Hey, trying to rattle them as much as we can, trying to make it hard for them. Offensively, we got to get going a little bit. We got to help our defense. We've played too many plays. So, the long game, right?
Coach, appreciate the time. Thank you.
Coach Gardenia's team with 14 points off turnovers in the first quarter, a pick 6, and then a fumble recovery that they brought inside the 1-yard line and scored on the next play. Empty set for Bartallo on 3rd down and 10, and he gets dumped. Xavier Thomas, the first Tiger in there.
You're going to see Xavier Thomas come off the end here and just absolutely bull rush number 51, Ronnie Haynes. Pushes him right into the lap of Bartallo. And Coach Gardenia's right. I mean, their offense is absolutely just, they can't get anything going. They're so stagnant. No first downs thus far for the Buccaneers.
And 12 for the Tigers. Tyler Brown back to receive the punt from Brian Cooey. And the speedy freshman has space. Brown makes one-man miss, stays on his feet. There goes Tyler Brown. Past midfield. Brown sheds a tackle, and it's dropped inside the 40. A great game from the freshman out of Greenville.
You'll see, this is just, you got to make the first man miss, and then you get north and south. How does he break that tackle? Oh my goodness. For a young freshman, shows the speed, a little bit of power, physicality, and it's going to set up the Tigers with excellent field position.
Sheree Jefferson was the guy who looked like a speeding bullet. Came in and hit
a brick wall.
Yeah,
essentially, right?
He just bounced right off of, and Brown takes it 28 yards after a 48-yard punt. The Tigers start inside the Bucs 40. Moving the ball has not been the issue for Clemson today. 198 total yards in the first quarter. 12 first downs, just 2 turnovers. Stop me if you've heard that before. Klubnik throws, Williams wide open. Antonio Williams down at the 10.
These are the types of throws that Garrett Riley was talking about from Monday night. Like, Klubnik can make some poor decisions. He's a very young player, but that throw, he drops it right in the bucket between 2 defenders. That was a big time throw.
Clemson tempo. Shipley dancing to the 5. Garrett Riley has said that he coached a guy who finished 2nd in Heisman voting last year, and even he couldn't make some of the throws that Klubnik did.
Look at this. Stands in a pocket. This is just a dart between 2 defenders.
They go back to Williams on the screen. Williams changes direction and scores his 2nd touchdown today. 3 red zone possessions, 3 touchdowns for the Tigers.
It's a great block here on the outside by Adam Randall, number 8. Look at him just totally blocking Kalen Walters, and a great cut back inside for Antonio Williams to take that one into the house. And Drew, I'm telling you, they may have found something here. I know it's early in the season, but you look back to last week, Williams was their leading receiver. So far in this game, 2 touchdown receptions already.
He was their top receiver last year as a true freshman. He's got 2 scores already today. Gunn's extra point is good. A 5-yard score for number 0.
They can just stop turning the football over. This would be a blowout, but we still have ourselves a ball game.
For the second time today, Klubnik 17 of 21 for 168 yards and 2 scores. Both to that guy, the sophomore who you mentioned, Foxy, led the team in everything in week 1, led the team in catches and yards last year as a freshman. He's a player for these Tigers.
Big time player. I love his ability. I like his instincts. I like how he runs his routes, catches the football with his hands. Like, this guy could be a really, really special one here for the Tigers.
And we'll give a shout out, of course, to Adam Randall, his fellow wide receiver, who made a great block on the screen pass from the 5-yard line. Anytime receivers block like that, you got to show them love.
It's called a stock block. Not easy to do. Not everyone wants to block on the outside, but that was a tremendous block, as you pointed out, that allowed Williams to get in the end zone.
So here comes the Charleston Southern offense. Despite the fact that they have 14 points, they have 0 total yards. And, of course, 0 first downs. So how can this gold rush offense get going, Foxy?
I think you have to take some chances on the outside. And here's the problem. You know, Bartolo has, like, no time to throw the football. So you're going to have to get the ball out quickly. And when they talk about this gold rush offense, they want to pound and pound and pound. And there's just nothing inside as far as the running game goes. So they're going to have to try to get the ball out quickly on the perimeter to try and get some first downs going.
First down, it's J.D. Moore, their top running back, and he'll pick up 0. So still stuck on no total yards. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., a name you know pretty well, Foxy. His dad, Jeremiah Sr., your old teammate in Philly. Yeah,
he was a bad man. Scary dude, man. Played Mike linebacker for a long time in the NFL, and his son is a special one as well.
Wes Goodwin, the Clemson defensive coordinator, said Jeremiah Jr. has been a Mike linebacker since birth. Studies the game like a pro.
Loves the game.
Play clock is under 5 on 2nd down and 10. Bartolo feeling the heat. Throws on the run, incomplete. Sheridan Jones in coverage, trying to find Fred Highsmith.
Sheridan Jones breaking up the pass.
So this Clemson defense has been stout all day. We saw Trotter just make that last play. He and Barrett Carter were the 2 guys the coaching staff wanted to see more from. They said they probably tried to do a little bit too much Monday against Duke, got themselves out of position, missed some tackles. So far today, they've been great.
Well, I think more than anything, it was that run by Riley Leonard, the touchdown run, where there was a multitude of missed tackles.
3rd down and 10. Bartolo stumbling, rolling, throwing, complete. First down, Charleston Southern. It's Chylon Thomas moving the chains.
How about that? Bartolo does a good job rolling out. That on the outside, as Peyton Page was the one delivering the pressure.
Nice grab by Chylon Thomas on the sideline as well, the transfer from Charlotte. First down today for the Bucs. If you're just joining us and wondering how do they have 14 points then, a pick 6 and a fumble recovery that they brought inside the Clemson 1 and led to a 1-yard touchdown. Again on the ground, that's TJ Ruff. Tackled by TJ Parker. TJ on TJ. Parker, one of those freshman D linemen from Alabama, along with Peter Woods, they're really excited about.
Yeah, he had himself a really strong game against Duke on Monday night. In fact, the folks here, the sports talk radio folks, were just raving about this young man. Him and Peter Woods, the 2 freshmen on that defensive line, both played extremely well, and we'll probably see a lot of action here, not just in this game, but as we go out or as Clemson goes throughout the rest of the season.
Clock winding again. Approaching 5 minutes into the 2nd quarter. Just get the snap off. Bartallo keeps the gold rush triple option, sends it out to Ruff. Set up third down and manageable. Barrett Carter on the stop for Clemson. If that looks familiar to fans who have watched Coastal Carolina, Jamie Chadwell, he's the old head coach here at Charleston Southern. A lot of the principles are the same.
Yeah, the new head coach at Liberty, and they go way back to their Charleston Southern days. Yeah, they love that speed option. We saw a ton of that. Remember Grayson McCall, who's at Coastal Carolina? Still feels like he's been there for 25 years. But that was a nice productive play on second down.
On third down and 2. Bartallo throws short, complete. Lots of space for Tyree Taylor. A guy who they list as a tight end, but has a lot of speed, brings it inside the 35. Toriano Pride made the tackle after a gain of 23.
Boy, 82, Noah Jennings gets a tremendous block as he comes inside and just allows Taylor to get on the outside. I like that call. That's a really nice call on 3rd and 2.
Bartallo didn't see him coming. He got blasted. Sprinting off the edge, it's the cornerback, Nate Wiggins. A loss of 8.
Here's Wiggins right here on the outside. He's just going to come on a corner blitz, and it's right to the blind side of Bartallo. Doesn't see him coming. I don't even know how he holds on to the football. That is a big-time sack by Nate Wiggins.
He held on to the football but lost his helmet, so Bartallo heads to the sideline for at least one play, and Caleb Jackson comes in. Jackson, the redshirt freshman, an Albany State transfer following this staff. He started week 1. Against North Greenville. It's a snap with a play clock at 2. Ruff gets the carry. Ruff still on his feet. Down at the 35, third down and about 3 coming up. That blindside hit looked like about 5 years ago when Eric Dungy was the quarterback of Syracuse and didn't see Xavier Thomas coming off the edge back when Thomas was a freshman. Blew him up here at Death Valley. Third down and 13. Check that after the big-time sack, which was a loss of 8.
Got to take a shot at some point.
They don't take a shot. Instead, they keep it on the ground. J.D. Moore looking for space, ducks out of bounds. Charleston Southern had converted on back-to-back third downs, that time on 3rd and 13. They keep it on the ground. What do you think here, Foxy?
I'd attempt the field goal.
Kicker's got a big leg.
He does have a big leg.
That's what they'll do. They'll bring out the field goal unit with Sam Babish.
And Babish hit a 44-yarder against North Greenville.
Hit a 57-yarder last year.
You said it, partner. He's got a big leg.
And Coach Gardenia, who was a kicker himself when he was a walk-on at Alabama, said, if an NFL scout came in to ask me top players for the next level, Babish would be one of the first 5 he said. But before the field goal attempt, Charleston Southern calls timeout. Charleston Southern lines up a long one down by a touchdown there. Jamie Chadwell, playoff back-to-back years in 15 and 16. And Gardenia, a lot of success at D2 Albany State before taking this job. Babish boots it away after his 46-yard field goal. Tyler Brown, no return.
The one thing that Coach Gardenia mentioned with Alex during the interview down there between quarters was you got to get something going on offense. So maybe that last drive, I know they didn't score a touchdown, but getting a couple of first downs, allowing your defense to get a bit of a break, right? Because your defense has been the only thing that has kind of kept you in this game to this point. So we'll see if the Buccaneers can try and stop this potent Clemson offense.
And Tigers been rolling. 168 yards for Cade Klubnik. A couple of touchdowns, only 4 incompletions. Keep it on the ground with Shipley. A short gain on first down as we go back to Alex.
Well, Drew, Dustin, as much as Garrett Riley is impressed with Cade Klubnik's physical talents, he also says his mentality is just as strong. He says when things aren't going the Tigers' way, Klubnik is the first to get ready to bounce right back and get back out there and regroup. He says he's as resilient as they come.
Well, you can certainly see that.
He throws here on second down, finds Shipley. His security blanket out of the backfield to get ripped down near the original line of scrimmage by Bryce Llewellyn. But it might have been a face mask, but no flag.
It was close. I think he may have grabbed the inside of the shoulder pads around the neck area. But you're right, from our vantage point, it appeared like a face mask. The fans here wanted now. He just grabbed the jersey. Yeah, it was an abrupt movement, but the right no call.
Clemson 0 for 3 on third down today. Converted once on fourth down. Just haven't faced a whole lot of third downs because they've been moving it so easily. Klubnik feels the heat, just gets rid of it. Again, a risky pass as that one falls incomplete. Llewellyn applied the pressure. He's been everywhere today. We do have a flag down in the backfield inside the 10.
I think it's going to be intentional grounding.
Number 2 on the offense. No receiver in the area. The ball did not reach the line. So loss of down at the spot of the pass. Fourth down.
So again, Dustin, it's one of those where it's like, just eat the sack, right? That's what the fans here want him to do.
Llewellyn's going to come right off the edge, unblocked. And as you see, there's no receiver within 15 yards of that football. That was a terrific job by Bryce Llewellyn. And you mentioned it early, partner. Garrett Riley talked about Llewellyn being a player that you have to watch out for in this defense, number 43.
Yeah, he's a problem. Aiden Swanson out to punt. After the first Clemson 3-and-out today, that's a good kick, spiraling inside the 40, where J.D. Moore zigzags and then dives down. For Charleston Southern to start just inside their own 45. Cade Klubnik chatting things over with his head coach. Clemson by 4. Around the ACC, spoiler alert, it's raining. Notre Dame and NC State highlights. That one's been delayed a lot. And then a great moment in Charlottesville, a special one. Their first home game for UVA since tragedy struck that program. So stay tuned for the Auto Owners Insurance halftime. And Charleston Southern started to get it rolling on their last drive. They go trickeration here on the double reverse. That does not work. A flag comes into the backfield. Chylan Thomas ended up with the football. Justin Maskell made the tackle.
Foul, illegal blindside block, number 55 on the offense. The 15-yard penalty, still first down.
Stuff like that tends to happen on plays like that, which was a negative 10-yard run before the flag.
Yeah, he just didn't have to do it, you know. There's just so much speed on this Clemson defense that it's difficult to try and run a trick play where you're trying to get on the perimeter. You know, that last drive was 9 plays, and it finally gave your defense a chance to rest. And what it did was it allowed the defense of the Buccaneers to come out there and get a 3-and-out. I don't love that call on first down.
Clemson did decline the penalty. It was a loss of 10 on first down. Bartello in that modified triple option gets it out to Octavius Eisen. He scored their lone touchdown last Thursday in the win over North Greenville in the fourth quarter. It's third down and forever for the Bucs.
Now, the one thing I would be doing if I were Charleston Southern is I'd run this play clock down as much as you possibly can, just to try and give your defense as much rest as hot as it is down there on the field.
It's blistering.
It's blistering in the booth, and we're in the shade.
Play clock under 5. Game clock under 5 in the second quarter. Bartello gives TJ Ruff as Charleston Southern continues to try to run the ball. 16 carries, only 6 passes for the Buccaneers, and they'll punt on 4th down.
And really, if you're Charleston Southern and you're down 4 points here as you approach halftime, that's a huge win for Coach Gardenia. And it gives you a little bit of a positive momentum going into halftime. Obviously, Clemson's going to get the football back with an opportunity to go drive down the field.
I think Coach G might be planting a mustard seed at halftime.
I think he's going to be putting mustard seeds all over that field down there.
Sprinkle them.
And by the way, that grass is just gorgeous. Drew and I were down there on the field before the game. I was like, I don't know that I've seen more perfect grass.
You said it feels like turf.
It did.
That was a dangerous punt. Clemson almost got there. The freshman Brown watches it bounce out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Under 4 minutes left in the first half. 28-7 loss as Klubnik completes again. He's now 19 for 23. Finds the tight end Jake Brittingstool there.
And he's completed passes to 7 different wide receivers. It shows that they're trying to find some weapons and give some opportunities to some guys on the outside.
They split him out 4 wide and hand it to Mafa right up the middle. Klubnik spreading that sugar, sharing the wealth. Williams is top target today with 5 catches for 64 and 2 touchdowns. Now here's one area they've struggled on 3rd down, 0 for 4. And before the snap, a timeout by the defense.
Timeout. Charleston Southern. 3rd. Final charge timeout. Timeout will be 30 seconds.
Women's sports take over the afternoon every Sunday right here on ACC Network. We start at noon Eastern with field hockey. Number 7 Syracuse, a championship program hosting UConn in a rivalry. Then it's a soccer tripleheader with Virginia Tech hosting number 20 Northwestern. Number 5 FSU, a powerhouse hosting Florida in-state rivalry. We cap the day with Wyoming at Louisville at 5:30 Eastern. Speaking of the conference at large, check out the ACC preseason poll. You know, Clemson, FSU, Florida State, a trendy pick maybe to make the playoff, especially after what they did week 1 to LSU. But it's a Clemson team, Dustin, that despite all the noise around it, certainly has a path to the ACC championship game.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, it's a very talented team. I'm a big believer in Mike Norvell in that FSU squad, so we'll see how things play out. They've got a big matchup coming up.
Klubnik on the keeper here. Runs around the left side, pulled out of bounds, and 2 flags come in. Malik Barnes going to be guilty of a horse collar here.
After the runner was out of bounds, personal foul, illegal horse collar tackle, number 9 on the defense. That's a 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
It's a 7-yard carry plus 15 for the personal foul against Sheree Jefferson.
You just got to lay off there. I mean, not only was it a horse collar, it was a late hit out of bounds. Could have been either one.
You get your money's worth on that.
Yeah, and Dabo and Garrett Riley probably holding their breath, making sure that their quarterback's going to be okay. He is back in there.
Under 3 to play in this first half. Klubnik off the play action, looking middle, throws. Brittingstool nearly got blown up. In coverage, it was Jamel Johnson who came in to break it up, and you see the flow coming out of the back of his helmet. The coaches joked that it's easy to recognize with the green tip dreads.
That's just perfect timing. Johnson has made 2 excellent pass breakups early in this first half. And you can see the dreads, the green dreads.
They say that if those are flying sideways, he's playing well.
That's right.
They're going right.
That's right.
Now 2nd down and 10. Klubnik hands to Mafa, and no gain. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Now here's what's interesting. As it's 3rd and 10, if you get 5 yards or even just any sort of positive yardage here, Robert Gunn has got the leg. I mean, this guy has kicked it 70 yards in practice. But if you recall on Monday night, he'd missed those 2 kicks low, and they were both blocked. So I'm just curious to see if Dabo decides to bring him out here at some point.
It could be 4-down territory here for Clemson.
Absolutely could be.
Play clock is under 10. Game clock approaching 2 minutes. And they hand it off to Mafa, who finds some space. And Mafa bounces it outside at the 20. It's funny, you heard some of the fans start to rumble. Really? We're running it on 3rd down and 10, and then those rumbles turn to cheers.
Yeah, great run, great vision. Phil Mafa is just a tremendous number 2 running back. Could be a starter. Well, he kind of is a starter, frankly, here with Will Shipley, kind of 1A, 1B. But very physical. Coach Riley said he's probably the nicest guy he's ever met. Like, genuine, down to earth, treats people with respect. Great young man.
Williams, the motion man. Klubnik throws incomplete, trying to find Beaux Collins. And Clemson put out a great video, speaking of Mafa's personality, called House Call with Phil Mafa. They went to his hometown of Grayson, Georgia, talked with his family. His parents came over from Ivory Coast in West Africa, and Mafa, just a really impressive young man. Got 1:31 left in the second. They give it to Shipley again, and it's another short gain on the ground of 2. 3rd down and 8 coming up as the clock continues to wind. Remember, under 2 minutes, the clock stops on a 1st down. Clemson now facing 3rd and 8. 2 for 6 on 3rd down today. Under a minute now as Klubnik and company look over to the sideline. Tigers have 2 timeouts. Play clock's down to 3, and they'll freeze it.
Sort of curious why.
Timeout. Clemson, 2nd charge timeout.
I am just sort of curious why you call the timeout there. I mean, you have plenty of time. I mean, plenty of time to run more plays. I mean, unless Dabo's trying to set up his kicker to put him in a situation to have an attempt here.
Well, he told us Robert Gunn's still the guy.
He's still the guy. But here's the thing. This is a 4-point game. It's not like you're up 35-0 here where you can kind of toy around with things and experiment.
This isn't the preseason.
No, it's not. I think some fans here feel like it's the preseason. It should be the preseason, which is why they're upset that it's a 21-17 ball game. There's a look at Robert Gunn, the 3rd. 2 misses last week.
First one from 41 blocked. Second one also technically blocked, but it was really a shank left. And when we met with Dabo in his office yesterday, which was amazing, by the way, opulent office, he said that second kick did get higher than your sunglasses there, Drew. Maybe they want to give him a chance to get a field goal made under his belt, but it's 3rd down and 8 here with 48 seconds left in the second quarter. Tigers down to 1 timeout. Remember, CSU will receive the second half kick. Klubnik throws with a man in his face, completes, back shoulder. It's Beaux Collins. 1st down Clemson inside the 10.
Beaux Collins.
Yeah, there's pressure coming off the edge in Klubnik's face. And he's just able to deliver the football on the outside to Beaux Collins. Pretty tight coverage as well.
Tenth play of the drive. Klubnik keeps, throws, looking for Williams again, and it's batted down, incomplete. Trayson Fowler in the coverage for Charleston Southern. He was trying to find Williams for his 3rd tonight.
Pressure coming at Klubnik, and just delivers a strike, but excellent coverage there by Trayson Fowler. Fowler, number 5, is going to just be right on the spot. And I'll tell you what, if Davion Williams doesn't go for the big shot there, he may have been able to intercept that pass.
2nd and goal now. Klubnik swings it. Brenningstool, the tight end, handles it after the initial bobble. And he's down at the 6. Remember, Clemson 1 timeout. Clock now winds under 30. Again, Fowler in the area. He made the tackle there. He's had a great afternoon, Trayson Fowler.
Yeah, he's played himself a phenomenal game. Really, I think the secondary of Charleston Southern has really played well.
Clemson got to go here, still sitting on the timeout. They snap it with 13. Klubnik looking right. He's got all day. Throws, end zone, incomplete. It was the tight end Brittingstool, the intended target. And with 8 seconds left,
got to take the kick here.
I think they have to, yeah.
And how nervous is Dabo right now for young Robert Gunn III?
The freshman from Seminole, Florida. Out to attempt a 23-yarder. Dabo said he might have had some stage fright. Week 1, big stage against Duke. This could be his first career make. And he fires it through. So Robert Gunn III on the board.
Let's see how the kick looked. That's a tough angle.
Was it low?
Well, it was a little bit off to the right, but just close enough. Those hash marks can be a tough angle, and Dabo's happy for the young man as he makes his first career field goal. But again, what a win for Charleston Southern and the Buccaneers defense to hold them to 3 on a drive that appeared like Clemson was just going to go down the field and get 7 points.
It's a warm afternoon here in Clemson, and I think the nerves a little higher than Tigers fans expected today. It's been a little more of the same from Monday at Duke, where Clemson moving the ball effectively, but just costly mistakes today have kept Charleston Southern in this game. Gunn shows off the leg again. And that's a bomb. That is through the end zone.
I imagine that the Buccaneers probably just take a knee. 4 seconds to go.
What would the mustard seed tell you to do? Hail Mary?
I would say take a knee and plant a mustard seed in the ground when you're down there.
Coach Gabe Gardenia.
Drew, it's just amazing that Charleston Southern is in this game down 1 touchdown, and they've got 44 yards of total offense as opposed to Clemson, who has 265 and 18 first downs.
And we've got a 1-score game where Charleston Southern gets the ball first in the second half. At the half, it's Tigers 24, Bucs 17.
Their best drive.
No sustained offense for the Bucs at all, but they're only down by 1 score, and they get the second half kickoff after they won the toss and deferred. Another touchback from the freshman Gunn. We'll get another look at this Charleston Southern Gold Rush offense. It's sort of a modern triple option type. You've probably seen it at Coastal Carolina with Jamie Chadwell, who's now at Liberty. He used to be the head coach here. He's been on the same staff as Gabe Gardenia, the Charleston Southern new head coach, who's there right there in the huddle. Gabe Gardenia coming over from Albany State, where he was a highly successful head coach. And his quarterback, Tony Bartallo, will get things going here in the third quarter. Bartallo only threw 6 passes in the first half. They ran it 17 times, and they keep it on the ground with TJ Rupp to start the third quarter as we go down to Alex Chappell.
Hey there, Drew and Dustin. Well, I had a chance to catch up with Coach Sweeney, asked him about his offense, and he says, we've had some good drives, but we've been too inconsistent, and the 2 turnovers were really disappointing. So from a teaching perspective, we'll play through it, work through it as a team, and we've got to coach up Klubnik. I said, how do you do that? He goes, well, let me tell you, the best of the best do things they wish they could take back from time to time, so we'll get through it as a team, and we just got to coach him up and make him feel confident.
All right, Alex, good stuff from Coach Sweeney. It just feels like more of the same from week 1 when Dabo said, honestly, he's never been a part of a game like that. Bartallo on the keeper. They'll lose a couple yards and bring up 3rd down and long. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. on the stop.
You know, really the only success this Charleston Southern offense has had has been on the perimeter. Kind of the speed option, as you talked about, Drew, that has worked for them. Not many times, but the one drive that they did go down the field, 9 plays, they got the ball outside on the perimeter and sort of outflanked the Clemson defense. I don't know if they can do it here on 3rd and long, but man, this Clemson defense has been very impressive.
Tigers show pressure here with 6 on the line. 3rd down and 12. They bring the heat. Bartello sprays it out, and that's going nowhere. It's Chylan Thomas on the catch for a gain of maybe 1, 4th and 11.
Can you imagine catching this screen pass and then just looking at who's going to tackle you? You see 54 Trotter just coming right at you. You're like, goodness gracious. I mean, this defense is just stacked with potential NFL talent.
It was funny yesterday in our meeting with Wes Goodwin, the defensive coordinator. You just saw there in the purple. Dustin, you always ask defensive coordinators, hey, who are the guys NFL scouts are looking at?
Right.
He started naming them, and by the time he was done, it was pretty much every star.
It's basically like 15 guys. Like even some of the backups.
That's right. Eric Cates. Check that, Brian Cooey on the punt. And it skips back to the 50-yard line-ish where Clemson will take over. A 27-yard punt for Cooey. So here comes Klubnik, and it's a lot of good and then just a couple questionable decisions in the first half.
I think people just need to realize, like, this is the guy's 3rd career start. It's been up and down. You know, first start here at Clemson in Death Valley. Kind of a revamped new offense, changing things up from where it was a season ago. In comes Garrett Riley. There's a lot of changes, new terminology, a new system. It's an air raid system, a version of that. They call it the dirt raid because they run the football a little bit more. But it is going to take some time to get that rhythm.
On 1st down and 10, Klubnik with a clean pocket completes. Just short of the marker, it's Brandon Spector who's getting a little extra action today for the Tigers with no Cole Turner. Turner and Andrew Makuba both out for Clemson today with what they describe as minor injuries. Mafa and Shipley flank Klubnik, and they give it to Shipley. He's got lots of speed. He steps out of a tackle and brings it inside the 30. A lot of plays with Will Shipley where you're saying, how did he emerge from there? 17 yards.
I don't know. I mean, my goodness, he just gets through a phone booth on this play, and Sheree Jefferson comes in there, number 2, nearly has him on the ground, and then he just bounces out, spins out of that tackle, and picks up an extra 8 yards. Phenomenal run by Will Shipley.
There's a real bright spot Monday against Duke. 17 carries for 114 yards, plus caught a touchdown. Klubnik again to throw on 1st down and 10. Instead, he tucks it. Klubnik can run, and he's chopped down near the 1st down marker. Brings it inside the red zone. There's Sheree Jefferson on the stop for CSU.
I really think that Klubnik wanted to go deep. He had Brandon Spector on the outside, but excellent coverage by Jamel Johnson. And this is probably one of the better decisions we've seen by Klubnik to actually just take what the defense gives you.
It's back to Shipley. Back up the middle. Steps out of another. And Will Shipley brings it to the 5-yard line. Davion Williams on the stop, 1st and goal for the Tigers. Now, if Will Shipley scores a touchdown here, he will continue to climb up the Clemson record books. Out there again with Mafa. He gets the call. Mafa scooting, scoring. Touchdown, Clemson. Phil Mafa's 2nd touchdown today. A little breathing room for the home team.
What a 1-2 punch this is in the backfield with Shipley and Mafa. Shipley's just looking to block somebody, doesn't know who he's going to block, and ends up just kind of pulling Mafa into the end zone. That's a phenomenal drive. 5 plays, 54 yards, and it was just under 2 minutes.
Got good field position after the short punt, took advantage. Albert Gunn adds the PAT.
Well, that drive, Drew, they get it done on the ground. and they make quick work of this opening drive here in the second half. Mafa is in the house.
Clemson has a 14-point lead over Charleston Southern here in the 2023 home opener at Memorial Stadium. Robert Gunn III continues his clinic on kickoffs, another touchback. Coming up next, number 17, North Carolina hosting Appalachian State in Chapel Hill. That game was insane last year. App State scored 40 points in the fourth quarter and lost, led by Chase Bryce, who used to play here. Continues through number 4, Florida State hosting Southern Miss at 8:30 Eastern. Every game also available on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. As if that's not enough reason to watch App State UNC. Tune in for this guy, Drake May, last year's ACC Player of the Year, who is dynamic, Foxy.
He could be the #1 overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Scouts are loving this guy, and certainly it's going to be a tough matchup. Anytime you play App State, I mean, that is a big-time program. Sean Clark's done a great job with the Mountaineers.
The first play of a new drive, Bartello had it complete for a second. It was popped free and picked off by Wade Woodaz. Touchdown, Tigers. 34-yard pick six for the sophomore from Tampa. Wade Woodaz recovered a muff punt at Duke Monday. He's got an interception here and takes it to the house.
Talk about being at the right place at the right time. And just like that, what was a 7-point game at halftime has been broken wide open to 21.
So Woodaz takes it the distance. Jaden Lucas made the big hit.
Yeah, Jaden Lucas, you mentioned, number 10, comes in, has a clinic tackle, breaks up the pass, ball's in the air. Thank you very much. House call for the Tigers.
Wade Woodaz, after the pick six, has Clemson on top by 3 touchdowns. All of a sudden, things feel a little bit different, a little bit lighter. Spirits in a higher spot after the Tigers only led by 1 touchdown at halftime. They've scored twice in the first 5 minutes of this third quarter. Drew Carter, Dustin Fox, Alex Chappell back with you here at Memorial Stadium. Clemson starts a 3-game homestand today. They get FAU and then FSU in a showdown in a couple weeks. Let's go back to that interception, Foxy.
Yeah, it was just a tremendous job by Jaden Lucas, who comes in here, well-thrown ball, turns around, just has enough control for them to call it a catch. And that is going to be an easy pick six by Woodaz.
Woodaz, is it?
Woodaz. Love that name. Good player, man. That guy, he's played everywhere. He's played defensive end. He was a safety out of high school. Now playing a little bit more at the Sam linebacker position here for the Tigers.
They're really comfortable with him everywhere.
Yeah, they love him.
Before the first play of a new drive.
Timeout. Charleston Southern. First charge. Timeout. Timeout will be 30 seconds.
Coach Gabe Gardenia will get the puppies organized here. Don't forget, tonight after Southern Miss and the aforementioned Florida State, the ACC Huddle crew has a complete wrap-up of our game and the entire day. Highlights, analysis, interviews with players and coaches. They got you covered right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. I will be tuned in to the huddle because I'm trying to find out what happened in Boston today. Last time I checked, BC was only up by 3 against Holy Cross in the fourth quarter. That game currently delayed as we speak, so make sure you tune into the huddle later on tonight. The ACC teams in the top 25. Clemson still there. They opened number 9 and fell 16 spots to 25 with Florida State.
It looked so good against LSU the other night.
My goodness. Looked like the best team in the country.
They did.
Bartello on the keeper. And, you know, FSU, of course, no one's going to unseat Georgia at the top of the AP poll. But that was the most impressive win of anyone in college football.
Had to be. Had to be. There's no doubt. You know, up where I'm from in Ohio, the fans are just restless about the Buckeyes. They played Youngstown State today, and people are like not happy. Just like people here, it's like when you're a top 5, top 10 team perennially, it's difficult to keep up those expectations every single year when you got to retool, rebuild.
Second down and 8. Bartello blown up in a hurry. That'll be a loss of 1. T.J. Parker, the freshman, on the stop. And I think, you know, Clemson is a victim of its own success in a way because the expectations are so high.
Oh, and we're in the booth. We're looking across at the playoffs that they've been to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 playoffs
in a row.
In a row. It's just remarkable. I mean, the team has such high and again, rightfully so. Dabo's done a tremendous job here.
3rd down and 9. Bartello throws complete on the slant. Kakavitsis, the Virginia Tech transfer, will come up short by a couple yards.
You go for it?
Hey, what do you think?
Why not?
You got the faith of a mustard seed, you might as well.
If you have the faith of that mustard seed, you go for this.
Coach Gardinia's been holding the little mustard seed container in his right hand the entire time.
Has he really the entire game?
I think so. I can't really tell right now, but he is going to send out the punt.
I think he pulls it out from time to time whenever they make a big play.
He was running down the sideline, throwing mustard seeds around after their pick 6 or their fumble recovery that brought him inside the 1. Brian Cooey out to kick it away again. Tyler Brown, dangerous freshman, back to receive. Looked like Cooey
he thought about running for the first down.
He had a notion.
I wonder if coach gave him the opportunity. Hey, listen, if it's open, just go for it.
Instead, he kicks it away. Instead, he kicks it away. Fair catch after a 36-yard punt. Three touchdowns. First meeting ever against Charleston Southern. It's the Tigers' 108th different opponent in program history, and the first time they faced their in-state foe. It's a balmy afternoon here in Death Valley, mid-80s. Sun beating down, feels like 89. That was a little funky on the snap. Cade Klubnik is still in there. Keith Adams, hammerhead on the carry. So just to break down what we were discussing earlier, 6 consecutive college football playoff appearances for the Tigers, but they've missed it the last 2 years, and now certainly in a hole after losing week 1 at Duke. The expectation is the expectation here in Clemson, and for them to lose their season opener, it's got fans questioning, are they still the same program?
Well, I think it's a fair question, but again, you go back and look at that game against Duke, and I watched the whole thing, and I still can't believe they lost the game. With, you know, they outgained their opponent, 200 yards passing, 200 yards on the ground. It's just, it's amazing that they lost that game, frankly. So, yeah, we'll see. Probably not too happy with, I'm talking about Dabo, probably not too happy about how they performed here early.
But be happy with this.
Yes, sir.
Beaux Collins hits the turbo. There goes Beaux. Collins celebrating early, still gets in. A 69-yard pitch and catch. He almost Leon Lennon that, Foxy, but he didn't make it.
It was very, very close. He was getting hawked from behind by Chandler Evan Perry, number 34, the spur. And he starts to do a little celebration at the end. Nearly got hawked.
Gunn has been perfect today. I think Dabo Swinney's still chewing him out.
Yeah, he's like,
nice touchdown, but
I mean, if you're at least going to do that, look at the scoreboard and see where you're at. See if anybody's behind you. Yeah, the safeties there were just completely confused. He breaks the tackle there, but then you see Chandler Evan Perry, 34, nearly catches him. Yeah, it was really Antonio Williams that kind of threw everything off. I feel like the defensive backs of Charleston Southern all kind of moved with Williams when he went to the flat, and that opened up the middle of the field, wide open rather, for Beaux Collins.
After the 69-yard touchdown. Been a nice afternoon for him. 137 receiving yards, ties a career high, and 7 catches is a career high. But it's just kind of weird, Dustin, like the early celebration.
I just don't get it.
It's something you would expect from a poorly coached team, right? Same thing as the turnovers. This is a Clemson team with one of the best coaches of a generation.
Yeah, they're always, like every year, one of the most disciplined teams in college football. And you're just coming off a loss. You're playing an FCS opponent. Like, just take the touchdown, celebrate with your teammates. Dabo gave him an earful.
Dabo talking it over with Garrett Riley, his new offensive coordinator. And we've got a chance to ask Garrett Riley yesterday. When did the Clemson thing start for you? Because he was at TCU last year, wins the Broyles Award as the top assistant in the country. He said Dabo Swinney hit him up the morning after the national championship game. So that was on Tuesday, and then what do you say? By Thursday night he was here.
Thursday he was on a plane to Clemson, and he said, "Don't ask me any questions after that because it's all a blur."
Found some time to purchase some cool shades. TJ Ruff is the running back for Charleston Southern. Picks up 6 or 7 on first down. Garrett Riley, of course, the younger brother of Lincoln Riley, and Garrett's doing pretty well for himself too. SMU in 2020. These offenses all top 15 in college football.
Yeah, no question. SMU is one of the best offenses in the entire country under Sonny Dykes. Sonny Dykes then goes to TCU. Garrett Riley follows him, of course, and had that national championship run last year, which was amazing. I don't think anybody in America thought that the Horned Frogs would get to the title game. Didn't perform that well in the championship against Georgia, but nonetheless, it still opens up the opportunity here for Garrett Riley to come to Clemson and be on a national stage. And listen, at his age, there's no doubt he'll be a head coach one day.
It's been a meteoric rise for a guy who turns 34 on Monday. Little life back here at Memorial Stadium after a hairy start for the Tigers with a couple of turnovers that led to points. Charleston Southern picks up the first down, though, here. Third down and short. Completes it to Davin Driscoll. Tell you, I've been impressed by this CSU program all week, Foxy. First-year coach, they go 2-8 last year. It seems like Coach Gardenia's got them moving in the right direction.
I agree with that, and I'm really surprised. This team, a week ago, this was their first game of the year. They played a Division II team in North Greenville. They barely beat them. They make a change at quarterback, and they come in here to Death Valley and taking a shot here.
Bartello rips it, nearly converts. Noah Jennings was the man just behind Jaden Lucas.
But Drew, this program is really kind of ripping it down to the studs. They brought in so many transfers from Albany State, a Division II program. So you got guys coming in to play FCS football, and a whole new offense, whole new defense. Everything is new. They've just been scrambling since they arrived to just put together the roster, right? And then to come out here, I'm extremely impressed with the job he's done. I think they'll get this program turned back around.
And hey, if this were a 15-minute game, they might have beaten Clemson.
Yeah.
In Death Valley. Big stop in the backfield as the Tigers smother it right away. There's TJ Parker again, man. He's been active, and he's wearing a helmet face mask combo that looks like it's from the year 3000.
What is that? Is that like a He borrowed that from like NASA.
Am I watching Tron right now?
It's pretty cool. I like it.
He is a young guy, freshman from Phoenix City, Alabama. Went to Central Phoenix City High School, which is a powerhouse. Clemson fans know it well. Justin Ross is a product of that school, as well as some other Tigers in recent years.
Remember, he was going to go to Penn State, and they got him to flip that commitment to come down here to Clemson.
Big collision after Bartalo's pass is incomplete. Trying to find Shiloh Thomas. Sherrod Coville in coverage. 4th down and 12. Hundreds. It's become an amazing tradition that Dabo Swinney started when he took over as the interim coach in 08.
It was amazing. He said he went to the AD when he took the job as the interim coach and said, well, you said I could have anything I want. And he's like, I want to have a Tiger Walk. And so that, of course, started the idea. They had these buses that dropped the players off. They walked through it. They thought they would get like no one to show up. There was like 30,000 fans for the very first Tiger Walk. And they've been doing it ever since.
Dominique Thomas on the carry there for Clemson. Let's go back down to Alex.
Yeah, well, talking with Barrett Carter and Will Shipley, they were super excited to get to walk through the new Tiger Walk. They said, how cool is it that we're going to see all the captains and co-captains along the path leading into Memorial Stadium. Just really special. And like you said, Drew, those captains' names from 1896, really special.
It's a program with an illustrious history.
I always love when new coaches come in and have success and they're able to start new traditions, and you never know how these traditions start, you know, and that's become one of the legendary things in college football, as well as Dabo sprinting his tail off every single game. I don't know how he hasn't pulled a hamstring yet, by the way, when he runs down the hill.
Well, he doesn't stretch because he says you never see a dog stretch before they take off from the patio to chase a rabbit,
yeah,
or something like that.
I've heard that line many times. I'm not built that way. I've got to stretch.
Maybe a foam roller?
Yeah. A Theragun?
Yes. Klubnik completes. 1st down, Clemson. Again, that's Adam Randall on the catch. And we got a chance to talk with Garrett Riley about that. You know, this is his first game at Memorial Stadium as the offensive coordinator. I wasn't watching closely when they ran down the hill, but I don't know if Garrett did it.
He said he was thinking about doing it. He wasn't sure if this was going to be the game that he would. You and I had our backs turned as we were doing our open.
Yes.
Right as they were running down.
There's Thomas again. Steps out of a tackle. The man they called Quadzilla, a weight room warrior, pushed out of bounds by Trayson Fowler.
And look at his thighs. This guy at 5'8", 215 pounds, just breaking tackles. I don't know. What do you think? Who's the real Quadzilla? Will the real Quadzilla please stand up? Is that Saquon? Is it Dominic Thomas?
Saquon getting ready for a game tomorrow night, but I'm sure he's watching. So Saquon, call in. Let us know.
Wow.
Tyler Brown, the freshman.
Boy, Stellato, the wide receiver, tried to make a block on the outside and just got absolutely destroyed. That was a big-time hit. It was Walton that came over and made the hit.
Now, you're a former defensive back yourself, Dustin. Is that something your eyes get wide when a guy's trying to block blow him up?
My eyes get wide when anytime anybody takes a shot like that. That's a nice run.
That's Thomas again. Quadzilla takes it out near midfield. Garrett Riley said he's pound for pound one of the strongest guys on the team. He's short but compact, 5'8", 210. There's Stellato. Maybe seeing stars after the big hit, but he's got a 1st down inside the 40. There is Garrett Riley, who says, you know, look, things were great at TCU. And when he was trying to explain to his kids, Gibson and Grayson, who are 6 and 4, he actually showed them a video of the entrance for Clemson where they run down the hill. Brent Musburger has called that the most exciting 25 seconds in college football. He was like, this is why we're going there. Like, this is the program we're going to.
They were sold. Well, and also, Another good run by Thomas. He did mention that Dabo is one heck of a salesman. And when Dabo calls you and you sit down with Dabo, it's hard to say no.
We learned that yesterday. When Dabo calls you, don't say no, even if you're the Smoking Pig, the best barbecue restaurant maybe in the South.
We do got to give him a shout out on that.
It's an incomplete pass.
So we had our meetings yesterday, and obviously, we're on the road. We want to try some new restaurants, right? And Dabo was like, "You guys need help getting in?" I'm like, "Yeah, we can use a little help, coach." Makes a quick call to Miss Kath, and we're in. And shout out to the Smoking Pig. It was phenomenal barbecue last night.
He didn't tell us who he was calling. It was on speaker. I
thought he was like calling like an assistant or something.
Nope. It was his wife.
His wife, yeah.
Miss Kathy on the other side.
Miss Kath.
And then they took great care of us.
Absolutely.
Amazing barbecue.
What was your favorite?
Probably the brisket. That is complete. And that's a tasty touchdown for Josh Sapp. 25 yards.
That was a little tangy.
Cade Klubnik's 4th touchdown of the day.
Rise the mesh. This is wide open. Just a wheel route in the back end there. Kalen Walters, I don't know what he was looking at. I think he was staring in the backfield at the mesh point. And the receiver gets right behind him for an easy touchdown. Cade Klubnik just racking up the touchdowns now.
First career touchdown.
Much different half.
Yes. Sapp's got his first. The redshirt freshman makes it 52-17. A 50-burger for the Tigers.
Well, it sure didn't look like it was going to end up like this when the game started. But once they settled in, got comfortable, making plays. And I would say this too, give all the credit in the world to Charleston Southern for showing up and playing well in the first half, but they just don't have the depth to play with these boys. I mean, these guys are so talented, have so much depth, and on a day like this, it is hot, it's sticky, very difficult to survive in Death Valley.
And what'd you say before the game? It feels like Death Valley.
No, it did. You and I went to the field before the game and had a chance to kind of walk around for a little bit, and it was like, all right, partner, let's go upstairs.
We played catch for maybe 3 minutes, and I was dripping sweat.
Yeah, that's a good day for Klubnik. Listen, the one interception was a pretty poor decision. There's no doubt about that. But I think you'll take a lot of the other decisions that he did make today, and now putting up the 4 touchdown passes and putting a 50-burger up, that'll make Dabo sleep a little bit better tonight. How many push-ups can you do, Drew? Your body's a temple.
Not 52, that's for sure. Definitely not after all the barbecue.
Bend those elbows.
I don't know if those count.
Are those real push-ups?
What an afternoon for Cade Klubnik. And a great bounce back. He was 207 yards, touchdown and an interception Monday at Duke. Today, 28 of 37, 315, and the 4 scores and the 1 pick. I don't know if you deserve fist bumps after those half push-ups, Mr. Tiger.
Well, this is a game that Cade Klubnik needed. He needed a game to help him build his confidence because they've got a really, really tough stretch of games. Now, obviously, Florida Atlantic next week. I would assume they'll be pretty good favorites in that one. But Florida State the following week, that is going to be a big one right here.
Tavius Eisen on the carry for CSU, and that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Well, it was all Clemson. 28-0, they outscored Charleston Southern in the 3rd. Might be easy to forget.
They are awake and much, much happier now as they enter the 4th quarter with 52 points on the board.
Tony Bartalo starts with a throw in the 4th quarter. Incomplete. Alex caught up with Dabo Sweeney between quarters.
Well, Coach Sweeney, your team scored 4 times in the third quarter. What can you say about the way your group got off to that second half?
Well, we weathered, obviously, some mistakes in the first quarter, hung in there. But, you know, the pick six, big hit by number 10 on defense. And, you know, good things happen when you hustle to the ball. And Woodaz hustled to the ball. We got the score, kind of sparked everybody. And then, you know, really proud of the offense. Cade just kind of got in rhythm. And, again, he's a young player. He's just got to play. And I'm really proud of him because, you know, he responded. And then, you know, good to get some other people in our second OL on the last 2 touchdowns. So good to see those guys continue to move the ball.
Coach Sweeney, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Guys.
All right, thanks, AC. A pass interference on that first play of the fourth quarter gives Charleston Southern a first down, and that's going nowhere. Octavius Eisen crushed in the backfield by guess who? TJ Parker, who's been everywhere in his first career game in this building.
He might have just lined up in the backfield. My goodness, he shot out of a cannon to make that stop.
That's 8 tackles for loss for Clemson today. They led the ACC with almost 8 TFLs per game last year. They lost 2 first-rounders from their defensive line. Miles Murphy to the Bengals, Brian Brzee to the Saints. And again, we know it's Charleston Southern. We know Duke scored 28 points last week, but they've got so many dudes they rotate through. Pressure coming on Bartello, incomplete, trying to set up the screens, and Chylan Thomas.
I just don't know how, if you're Bartello, you can just, I'd be scared. I mean, every time you drop back to pass, somebody's in your face. That time it was Denhoff and Parker again off the edge. This team, Drew, is going to be very, very interesting to watch when they get into the meat of their ACC schedule.
Bartello, incomplete.
Parker again nearly got a sack.
Yeah, TJ Parker's going to be a problem for the ACC.
Oh, my goodness, this guy. We talked with Wes Goodman yesterday, the defensive coordinator. He said, this guy for a freshman, just an absolute natural pass rusher. And you saw it last week against Duke, and now you see it again here against Charleston Southern. I think he's going to be a problem for teams in ACC.
And not just Parker, but Peter Woods as well.
Yeah,
number 11 to go at number 12. Woods was actually the more highly touted recruit. He was a top 10 prospect according to ESPN.
#1 defensive tackle in the country.
And Green again back to receive. He was on the cover of the program today. He might have some space here. A flag is down well behind the return. 2 flags, in fact, back at the 20 as Green takes it out past the 40.
During the return, illegal block in the back, return team number 24. Penalty is 10 yards. First down.
Originally a 22-yard return, wiped out by a block in the back. Clemson 17, North Carolina hosting Appalachian State and Chapel Hill. Game was wild last year. We continue through number 4, Florida State hosting Southern Miss at 8:30 Eastern. Every game also available on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. New quarterback in there for the Clemson Tigers is the junior Hunter Helms, number 18. He starts with a handoff and a short gain on first down for the Tigers. Helms, a guy who the coaches, Foxy, say has made a ton of improvements since he's been here, physically improved his body, and he's always been a sharp kid. Yeah, no doubt. He's certainly changed his body, put a little bit more muscle on, dedicated himself to the weight room, and this is a guy that was a former walk-on scholarship now. They love having him in that room. They'll throw on second down and complete. Brought down just a couple yards short of the first down marker. There's Banks Pope, number 44 in orange, as they're starting to cycle through their guys with a big lead in the 4th. Well, that's what Dabo and Garrett Riley wanted to do in this game. Is if they did end up getting a big lead in the second half, a lot of these young players, they can have an opportunity to play and some live action. They'd even like to get Paul Tyson in the game if they could at quarterback at some point. Keith Adams in there at running back next to Helms. Play clock is under 10. They give it to Hammerhead. He's got a big gain, and there you see why they call him Hammerhead. Garrett Riley says this guy wants to lower his head and run through your soul.
Watch Pagano here. He is going to lose his soul on this play as he just drops the hammer. Listen to this. Wow. He's a one-cut, get north and south, and then he tries to run you over.
His dad, Keith Sr., played linebacker here at Clemson. And his son kind of looks like he's playing linebacker even when he's carrying the ball. Another first down completion for Clemson. Helms finds Troy Stellato, who's been busy today, moving the sticks. Hunter Helms, a guy who the coaches say is attached at the hip with Cade Klubnik, always trying to learn from the new QB1.
I think it helps, you know, when you've got two quarterbacks in that room, in Helms and Paul Tyson, who have tons of experience, have been around the block, they've seen everything, and they certainly can provide advice to the young quarterback who's getting his third start today.
Helms sprays it out to Hampton Earl, up by a wall of Buccaneers across midfield for a gain of 2. Kalen Walters, the first man there. I mean, this is what Clemson wanted to have happen in the fourth quarter. It was funny, you know, talking with Beaux Collins yesterday, I said, if I asked Nick Saban this question, I'd get my head bitten off. But if the game goes according to plan and you have a chance to get some young guys in there, who are you excited to see? And the quarterbacks were the first guy he mentioned, Hunter Helms and Paul Tyson.
Did Dabo say something about rat poison?
I don't think so.
I'm kidding.
Oh my goodness, what a grab.
Wow.
Hamp Green went up and Odell'd that with a guy all over him. Clemson going tempo. Hey guys, give us a chance to replay this. We need another look.
We need to see this again. Oh my goodness.
Clemson takes a timeout so we can watch it again.
Green just on a little corner route. Oh my goodness. Did he catch the ball? I think he got it.
That's Justin Jefferson. Back here in Death Valley for the first time in the 2023 season, Clemson starts a 3-game homestand today, and they've taken care of business in the second half at least against their in-state foe Charleston Southern, who actually led this game in the first quarter, 14-7. Hunter Helms is in there at quarterback for the Tigers, hands it to Keith Adams Jr. Let's go back to that catch we saw from Hamp Green. This was filthy.
Him go up with the one hand, and Drew, you're going to see that on SportsCenter Top 10.
Absolutely. Check out the reaction.
Everyone's losing their minds on the sideline. Can't believe it. That came out of nowhere.
Hamp Green getting some run here. He returned a punt earlier and makes that highlight SportsCenter Top 10 worthy catch. Adams bounces off a tackle. Hammerhead swimming his way toward the red zone. Wrestled out of bounds at the 20 by Chandler Evan Perry.
Going to bring out all the punts today?
There might be blood in the water here in the red zone for the Hammerhead.
Better look out. Close the beaches.
Red flags. Under 10 minutes to play. Clemson won the third quarter 28-0 against this FCS foe. Helms completes. Again, it's Stellato who steps out of a couple tackles and rolls out of bounds after a solid gain on first. Champ Brandley eventually brought him down. Stay for Stellato. That was his fourth catch, up to 44 yards. On second down, it's Adams again. Stiff arm, physical runner. Keith Adams fights for a first down. Like the fans have to be excited for what they're seeing from this freshman.
He's going to have a bright future. My goodness. I mean, this is your fourth string running back. It's so difficult to bring down. 5'9", 210. They get it from all over. It's from Utah.
So it's a first down and goal. Around the right side and in for the touchdown. Jay Haynes finds Pater.
That's where you see guys just really getting worn out there on the defensive line for the Buccaneers. Not even touched as he gets into the end zone. Just to see some of the younger players get some opportunities here late in this game.
True freshman from Alabama's got his first career touchdown. Caps off an 11-play, 90-yard scoring drive. New kicker in there for the Tigers is Hogan Morton, and he boots it through. A 59-17. They only led by a touchdown at recess. For a catch and a touchback for Charleston Southern. Thanks for sticking with us here on ACC Network Extra. Here in Death Valley, Drew Carter, Dustin Fox, Alex Chappell back with you on a blistering Saturday afternoon here in early September. Charleston Southern going with a new quarterback in Zoltan Osborne. Third different signal caller we've seen take snaps today. He pitches it out, and the Clemson defense all over it. Nevon Holland going nowhere. Osborne is a guy they're excited about, a true freshman from North Charleston. This is his first career action. Maybe the most naturally talented guy in that quarterback room.
Well, they need to find somebody who can step into that role. And they thought it was going to be Caleb Jackson. He's just a redshirt freshman who transferred with coach from Albany State. But, yeah, you're right. They're very excited about Zoltan.
TJ Brooks, the running back next to Osborne. As the play clock goes down to 5. Osborne lobs it up the sideline, nearly intercepted. It was Shelton Lewis who got a hand on it for the Tigers. Another freshman getting some run today.
Nice looking corner out of Georgia. Remember, he was an early enrollee and had a really, really good spring. And coming into camp, they knew he was going to earn some playing time.
This is the type of fourth quarter Clemson fans were hoping for, where they could get a look at some of the young players, maybe on the second and third string of the depth chart. Osborne with a nice pitch. Brooks hauls it in, and it'll come up well short of first down yardage. And it's a Clemson program that, this has been widely talked about this week. Still does it traditionally. They're not going to bring in many guys from the transfer portal. Most of their players, if not most all their players, are high school guys. And I've been thinking about it a lot this week, Dustin, as we prep for this game. I feel like the transfer portal thing is not going to be as much of an issue for Clemson once the COVID eligibility runs out. Because you look around the country, and take Florida State, for example. That's who people are comparing Clemson to this week. Because FSU, I think 9 of their 11 starters on offense were transfers or something like that. And Keon Coleman's the big one. Jaheim Bell, the tight end, both those guys scored multiple touchdowns week 1. You're bringing in older guys who have multiple years of eligibility, and that's just not going to be the case once we get past the COVID eligibility. There's a lot of meat on this bone. We'll continue discussing it when early. think, has ever started a game here at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
His day has been over for a while. We already got a look at Hunter Helms. And now we see another Clemson quarterback in there. This guy's played a lot of college football, been around for a long time. Paul Tyson, the Alabama transfer, steps in and hands off to Jay Haynes, who scored his first career touchdown earlier. And the freshman takes it across midfield. Paul Tyson, who went to Hewitt-Trussville High School in the Birmingham area. Started his career at Alabama, which makes sense when you know his family tree. His great-granddad was Bear Bryant. And he throws another complete pass here. And taking it across the yard line to gain for a first down is Olsen Pat Henry, a tight end for the Tigers. But Tyson spent last year at Arizona State, now in his third school at Clemson. Haynes, who showed some nice burst. We've seen him and Keith Adams and Dominic Thomas, all those guys behind Shipley and Mafa on the depth chart.
And they're really rotating the guys on the offensive line now, getting some of the second and third string guys in there and getting them some reps.
Clemson about to crack 600 total yards of offense, 599, and they've been balanced again. I already told you that they had 200 plus through the air and on the ground in that week 1 loss to Duke. And they've done it again today.
How about the defense? You hold the Buccaneers to 17 points and just 71 yards of total offense.
Tyson throws over the middle. It's complete. Inside the 10. The Tigers on the move again. Clay Sweeney. A popular last name around these parts. He moves the Tigers into first down and goal territory. After the catch by Dabo's son, it sets up first and goal, and Jay Haynes is in again. 2 touchdowns for the freshman from Alabama. It's all Tigers in the second half.
A pretty nice job of this drive by Paul Tyson, and the Buccaneers have ran out of gas as they're just kind of hanging on at this point.
You think the Buccaneers, their ship has sunk here? Death Valley?
I would say that's probably the case. It was a shark attack.
Quinn Kastner adds the extra point. Yeah, Hammerhead's playing. Jay Haynes is playing. He's got 2 touchdowns. Clemson showing off the depth today. These guys can score a little bit.
They can. 8th time Dabo's teams have scored 60 plus.
By the way, on the note about 200 plus passing and rushing, it's the first time they've done that in back-to-back games since 2019.
That's a good stat, partner.
It's a good nugget.
That's a nugget.
You got to strike the stone and find the nugget.
You got to find the gold. Yeah.
Shout out to Ross Taylor, who does a great job, the sports information director here at Clemson. Always a first-class experience when you come to Death Valley, and not just because of the smoking pig, although that's a big reason why. Kastner, the 3rd kicker through the rotation today. Oh, and that one stays in bounds. It's been that kind of second half.
It's been a very perfect second half for the Tigers. Look at what's coming up here, Drew.
Women's sports, they take over the afternoon every Sunday right here on ACC Network. You want to read the promo, Dustin?
Yeah, right here on ACC Network. We start at noon Eastern with field hockey. I know you're a big field hockey guy. Number 7 Syracuse hosts UConn. Then it's soccer, a soccer triple header with Virginia Tech hosting number 20 Northwestern, number 5 Florida State hosting Florida. Then we cap the day with Wyoming at Louisville at 5:30 Eastern.
All right. Even nailed the Louisville pronunciation.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hey, Karen, next time just give the reads to Foxy. Karen, the stage man.
I'm a radio guy. Put me on the spot. I like it.
Zoltan Osborne still in there at QB for CSU. And before the play, we get a flag.
Play game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Give a lot of credit to Charleston Southern, led by head coach Gabe Gardenia, a guy who knows Dabo Swinney well. Gardenia was a walk-on at Alabama as a place kicker and a holder from 2000 to 2003. The youngsters might not realize, but Alabama hasn't always been as good as they have been in recent years. 2000 to 2003, in fact, when Gardenia was there, they had 4 different head coaches in 4 years. And Gardenia, as a walk-on, had to retry out for the team pretty much every time, but he made it all 4 years playing at Alabama. And in 2000, Coach G's freshman year, the receivers coach was Dabo Swinney.
How about that? It's full circle. The college football community is very, very small.
They actually saw each other this summer, Gardenia was telling us, and the first thing Dabo said to him was, "You got a couple extra rest days, huh?" Because Charleston Southern played their first game last Thursday, and Clemson, of course, played Monday against Duke. Lawson on the stop for Clemson. Octavius Eisen carrying it for CSU with under 4 to play here at Memorial Stadium.
If you're Charleston Southern, you just want to get out of here as soon as possible and try to keep guys as healthy as possible. You got William and Mary coming up next week.
I think this team might do a little bit better than they were projected to do. You look at the Big South OVC poll, first year of the merger between those two leagues. They were picked 9th out of 10 teams. As Eisen finds a little sliver. Kyler Griffin on the stop. Sweeney back to receive the punt. Brian Cooey has had a busy day. King skips out of bounds near the 40-yard line. So for Clemson, I mean, you open with a humdinger at Duke. Duke, a team that's now ranked in the top 25. Now you get a couple where you should win, Charleston Southern, FAU, and then the Noles come to town, and that's going to be a big one.
I think it's fair to say that they're 1-1 now, right?
We don't want to assume, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think so. That's going to be a great, great matchup there, September 23rd. And, you know, it's a sneaky, tough game. I really like this quarterback at Wake Forest. We had a chance to see them last week. They had a nice win today against Vandy. That Notre Dame game, that could be tough.
Notre Dame looked good today.
Oh, man, they beat the brakes off of NC State.
It was raining points for the Irish. It was also raining.
Touche.
Chris Vecina's in there at quarterback for Clemson. On the handoff, they bust another big one. Tristan Rigby takes it inside the 25. A 35-yard gain for Tristan Rigby.
35-yard run, Tiger first down, the 25.
Rigby, the 6th or 7th different Tiger with a carry today. And he gets the call again, evades one defender, and goes into the red zone.
And on to Tristan Rigby.
Chris Vizina in there at quarterback. Kid from Birmingham, Alabama. We've seen a couple of Birmingham area kids rotate through at quarterback here. Went to Briarwood Christian High School, the true freshman. Another new running back in there for the Tigers is Kevin McNeil, and he gets pursued by Champ Brantley and brought down on 3rd down. And, you know, this final drive here, Dustin, could be significant to a lot of people, especially the guys lower on the depth chart rotating through. Right?
No question. And, you know, it's rare to win a game by 50, right?
You don't bet on that happening. Approaching a minute to play in the 4th. Vizina barking out instructions. Jarvis Green is the running back. Now everyone in the running back room is getting the call. And Green slips past a couple of tacklers. I think he made 4 Bucs miss to set up 4th down.
Can't imagine they kick a field goal here.
Could it be a field goal situation, right? You want to get some confidence for your kickers. But they're keeping the offense on the field for 4th down. Again, Clemson leads by 49. They face 4th down in the red zone.
Should be the last play of the game.
You would think about an 8-9 second difference between the game clock and play clock. On 4th down and 1, Vizina and the offense stay out there. They hand it to Wise Seegers, and he's got the 1st down. Now the clock will stop to reset the chains because we're under 2 minutes and a half. Dabo's got the headset off, and it will end with a 49-point margin of victory. Clemson wins by 49. They win the second half 42-0, and the Tigers have their first win of the season.
Impressive second half. I thought the defense was just absolutely tremendous. And Cade Klubnik